Hello, welcome everyone. This is Market Media with Trader K. I'm going to be showing you some stuff and things. It should be real fun. We're going to do some option trades. We're going to be going over some different option scalps and how to set up the on-demand account on Thinkorswim. It's my preferred platform. I'm going to show you how to analyze a stock pre-market for a day trade or a scalp, whether you're buying options or buying shares. Alright, so this is the Thinkorswim platform. We have a ton of tabs. I'm going to do another video on how to use this platform, but for those of you who already know or just want a demonstration of how this is going to work and how simple it can be and how fast you can make money, this should be for you. I'd like to say if you could subscribe and like the video, I'd appreciate that. There's also a Patreon in the link below. There's a Discord. We're already in there making money all the time. I'm constantly updating with different catalysts and earnings and stocks to watch, option plays that I'm in, get exclusive access with the Patreon to my personal watch lists and what trades I'm in currently. So I'm going to start the video with SPY. SPY is going to be your go-to for learning how to trade. It's a very consistent stock. It's easy to read. It has good liquidity and price range. So I have my options menu here with the option chain under all products on the Thinkorswim app. I use the trade and then active trader, set up 3 different charts: 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1-minute. I do my pre-market analysis in the 1 year, 1 day time frame so that I could see what the previous day high and previous day low is. What I use for studies on my charts is this. If you would like to pause the video and go through and add these to your charts, I would recommend it. I'd like to say that this is not financial advice. This is all for educational purposes only. I use a small RSI just on the 1 minute, so I know when my cooldowns could possibly be. Using some of these indicators can sometimes fool you. Also, if you're going to be using any longer swing trade charts for daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, I would recommend a MACD, and there are some other tools that we'll go over in some later videos in time. But for tonight, we're going to keep it simple. So there's that. I also have a auto support and resistance map that is, it's a study that you can load into this program. I have it listed in the Discord under helpful trading tools. So we're going to pick a random date and time. We'll go with, let's go with July. We'll go with the Monday. We'll go with the 12th at 9:29 a.m. So we can see our pre-market and our aftermarket from the day before. I'm going to go over a little bit of detail of what the options chain is as well, what these numbers mean, buys, sells. We're going to be mostly buying or buying puts or buying calls. We're not going to do any cash covered or naked shorting, anything like that. We're just going to keep it simple. Alright, so we're on July 12th at 9:29. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our big chart. We're going to move it to the 1 year, 1 day scale for time frame. Anyone watching, again, I'd like to say if you want to subscribe, I'll be doing a lot of content like this. I don't remember what this drawings were from, but I'll always have new content coming out all the time, and there's constant updates in the Discord again. Every day, all day, I'm in there. You can always get a hold of me if you have any questions as well. I'll be there. So let's remove these weird drawings I got going on. So we're looking at the 1 year, 1 day. We want to zoom in some. A little more than that. We're going to go to current. So you can see in this bar here, it's going to show you the date, which was the 9th because we're working on a Monday. 9th was a Friday. The high was 435.84. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to put a price level right here at 435.84. 435. Well, let's get close and then we can adjust it once we're zoomed in. And then another one, the low of the day. If you just hover over the candle, it's going to say right here, low of the day was 430.71. We'll get close. We're going to zoom back in. And we're going to adjust this level. We can actually see it on the 15-minute chart here a little clearer, and we can move that level a little more as well. So we'll just go click activate. We're going to move it down to 435.84. Or up to. That was after hours in pre-market. The day before was right there. Okay, well, we're close enough there. And we are going to make this solid still, style solid. Width we'll keep the same. Color, we'll make it green. Because the high is always a good thing. This one we're going to leave. We'll go to the low. Previous day was 430.71. Which I don't see here. I see the low here. So we're going to mark that as our low. Activate, we're going to move it all the way up to here. So now we have our previous day levels. This is all part of pre-market analysis. I guess there is where we touched at one point, but I don't see it in the candles, so maybe we touched it in pre-market, which I guess yeah, but we're going to read off of where we were there. Because we're going to make our pre-market levels on this side of pre-market, closer to the day we're working with. I hope my voice is loud enough. If anyone can let me know in the chat if my levels are good. But we're going to move to pre-market now, so we're going to go back to the 1 minute time scale. 1 minute here. We're going to zoom back out some. You can see our levels already. I have my auto support and resistance on, which is what you're seeing here at these levels. It's already marking. It's a great tool, auto support. It's in the Discord. It's worth checking out. I just loaded it in and it does it for me. I don't even really have to do much for these levels. But, so zooming out a little bit more, even further. This is what our pre-market and after hours from the previous day look like. So we see this, we're going to mark this ourselves here. It looks like about this line is where it was finding its bottom. So we're going to go ahead and put a price level right about there. We're going to keep it red. We're going to take it and we're going to make it super small dots because it's super small volume in pre-market. That's how I remember. We'll make the width a little bit thicker so that we know the difference between our auto support study that is there and our lines that we are making. And we'll throw it right there. Okay, so now we are going to also throw right here. We have some support and resistance going on. You can see it tried to break some kind of resistance. Also had a little resistance there. So right about this level we're showing some resistance, but it looks like it might find some support at this. So sometimes a resistance, after bouncing off of it enough times, it'll go above and then hug it and become a support until the next resistance level. Very important to remember. When entering even in swing trades and long trades, these are much larger, more exaggerated on the longer time scale charts, and the Fibonacci extensions are a very good tool for finding those levels. Most stocks will respect those levels pretty on point. So we're going to have to throw another level here. It seems like there's some here, but we're going to go off of the main ones that we see some exaggeration in. Here, maybe. We're going to throw, it tried to bounce off. It was finding a lot of resistance right here. We're going to throw a line right here, right through this. And we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to change it green because it's up at the top. We're going to make it small because we know it's pre-market. And we'll make it a little thicker, like that. I'm grabbing these drawing tools also by clicking down on my scroll. I'm not sure what it is on Apple computers. But you can see here that this volatility that happened right here actually correlates. If I zoom out a little bit more and squash this chart maybe. Let's just bring it over. You can see, let's do one thing here. Let me bring this back. Let's just move this to charts. SPY, let's maximize this sell. Move this down so we can really see our stock here. Okay, so we're on the 1 hour. Let's go back to the 1 minute and look at this again. You can see with the lines from my cursor that where this volatility happened, here and here, at that same price level, it saw some here and here. These are new to the pattern, but these levels, you can see here, the same price level, which is over here on the right, price levels, go all the way and you see more hiccups. It has trouble breaking through these areas. But for here where it was a resistance, here it became support. Right here it saw a double bottom. It bottomed out, tested it one more time, and broke out in pre-market here. Chart reading and pattern reading is really important too, because that'll teach you to recognize these signals like this. Double bottoms. This can also be reversed as a double top, which would be downside. Candle reading is very important, and we'll go over that in some later videos as well and get more into that detail. But we're going to go back now and go to the trade and then active trader. Now we're going to go back, we're going to zoom in pretty far because we want to see some real details on these candles as they're happening during market hours when we get there. I'm not sure how long this video will be. I just want to give some very useful information of how I determine how I'm going to trade the market for the day, the week, the year. I'm looking at these price levels and movements on different scales in time depending on how I'm going to trade them. If I'm going to trade them as a month long, I'm going to look at a 1 year chart. Sometimes I'll look at the 3 year 1 week chart to see how the weekly patterns are going. If I'm in a very long swing trade or investment at that point, so I know when to take my profits. It's good to hold stocks. It's great to have investments, but realistically, you're there to make money. And every time there's a top, you should take that top and take the top off of that before it goes down. Take your profits, let it go down. Going down is a good thing because you already took your profits. If it goes back down, you use your profits to go back in at a lower level. You improve your position size. Then when it comes back up, your profits are a greater amount than last time because of your position size is larger. So right here, we're going to have the option chain. Now, something that's very important with trading shares or options is stop loss. Discipline and consistency are key when trading any kind of trades, long trades, cryptocurrency, whatever you're doing, scalping, options, swings, shorting. You're going to want stop losses so that your losses are minimal compared to your gains. Now, I did want to go over really quick. In this account, we have this amount of money. What I'm going to do, because this is the first video, I'm going to go to reset and reset account. We're going to start with 100,000 so that it's a nice, even, easy to read number. Everyone can remember this, and we'll keep checking on this to see how much money we make through this video and through future videos. And I'm going to never reset this until we hit 1 million. Then maybe we'll have a party and start over. But, so there's that 100,000 right there. We are going to go on the options chain right here, and you can see nothing, there's no prices yet because market hasn't opened, so nothing has been adjusted. One thing I do want to say is if we're in the money, let's reset this so that we know what's in the money and what's out of the money. So everything that's highlighted in this purplish gray color is in the money on the put side and on the call side. You see calls, puts, bids, asks. And when you set these up, see this says $1.23. It's times 100 because there's 100 shares per contract that you're going to buy. This is the sell side. This is if you want to sell the contracts. Over here we have our buy side and our sell side. So say we were going to set up one in the money, because I always play either right out of the money or in the money. In the money is preferred, but if you expect some good price action, then one out of the money is a little less good. It's not going to be as profitable, but it's going to be more affordable. And if you have price action where you wind up in the money, then you're going to turn out pretty good with your P&L. So when setting this up, I like to, you go to buy custom. I have these presets I've made where you can adjust. So say we wanted to put a stop loss in. I'm going to put buy custom with stop, and it's going to bring me this. Now I'm going to full size this so that we can see it nice and clear. Now, obviously we're going to buy. This is us buying is the green. Say we're going to buy one contract. That's 100 shares at the premium price. The premium is this is price per share. So this is going to be times 100 because 100 shares in the contract. You're buying them at $1.23 a piece. So your stop limit you're going to want to set up as, let's do, if we're buying them at 123, we want to sell them if it hits, we'll say 119, right? So that if it goes, the premium goes down to 119, it would be 119 in your P&L, or your cost there. If that price reaches that where you can only sell it at 119, you've only lost 3 cents here, but $3 in the whole contract. Each contract is going to be different. It's going to have different premiums because of what the market expects it to do. But so let's put that in, and you're going to keep this chain link. If it's unlinked, it's going to stay the same, but if it's linked, it's going to move with this. You could see as this moves, what you're buying it at, this will also move with it. So that will move in unison, so that as the market moves, it'll adjust to be a certain amount under. So say you got that far in the money and it starts pulling back, it'll sell it before it pulls back too far. But this will never execute as a fill or a sell order unless the buy order had already filled. So I usually buy, you can make this a market order and still do the same thing. But a limit order is going to save you a little bit. But then once you have this set up, so let's go back, we'll rebuy this with a stop. We'll put it at 119. We're going to do a scalp, so we're not going to be in this trade for long at all. And if we see some price action that's going to eat some of our profits, we want to get out of there and just take our profits. And this will execute before your profits are gone. This is something that's very important to keep increasing your portfolio instead of seeing it pour down the drain. Blowing up an account is normal. If you're here because that happened to you, it's happened to me, it's happened to a lot of traders, and especially when you start messing around with options. When you realize, oh, options can make me a ton of money, you'll soon realize that options can lose you a ton of money. And if you get too excited and panic buy and panic sell, you're going to lose money. You trade off a price action in scalps if you're trying to scalp options. It's one of the most profitable daily income sources you could have if you're knowledgeable enough to know when to get in, when to get out, when to stay out. Being able to know when to stay out of the market is super important too, because if it's just chopping and you can't read it, just watch it. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow will be a better day probably if it chopped so much the day before. But some days the market is not that tradable. Some days the market, when it's like that, is better to have had a long swing in for the week where that day didn't matter to you. You just hold through that choppiness and wait for that come up that you know is going to happen because you did the right chart analysis before and fundamental analysis, the sentiment of the market, and really check into the companies you're investing in if you're doing those longer trades. But we're going to set this, going back, we're going to set this to 123. We'll, and the buy side, we'll make it 118. So that's set, right? You can go to save right here and name it whatever you want. We'll call this one "Don't Take My Money, Please." Ask nicely, or the stock market will eat you up. And save. And then you can see here, you can load these, well, if we made a new order. We'll go to buy custom, and they're right here. Don't take my money, please. See? And that's forever saved as that setup. They're triggers, really, stop loss triggers. So we're going to be using those today to set up our buy orders and our sell orders. So we have 8 strikes here. You can adjust that. I only need to really see 8. I only like to see 8 because then I can see some good price differences between the premiums that are going on. So let's put this back now. Now, I want to look and see where we were finding that little bits of resistance. Really check this over. This is pre-market, so this will be, from like 7 o'clock to 9:30 when the market's going to open. You're going to drink your coffee, you're going to read the news, check for catalysts, you're going to hang out, you're going to look at your charts and see what the market's been doing. These are Doge candles. You can see that was a signal that it was going to go back down, but that's candle reading. Again, we'll do that in a later video. So we have our account sitting at 100,000 now. We have our options, all our chains sitting right here, ready to go. We can look at our orders. We got nothing going. We have no P&L yet because we haven't done anything in the market. And what we could do is, let's see. You see this price level here that the auto support is setting up. That's 435, it looks like. We put another price level right here. We'll go a little higher. We'll put it like where pre-market is ending, And then we'll make that one the low. We'll edit it. We'll give that some medium size, the style, dashes there, and we'll give it a good 3 for thickness, and we'll set that. Now, we'll put another one. So I'd say our previous day's line here is going to be a good one. So we'll just leave that. This is where our pre-market's ending. We have some channels here now that we can bounce around in. And we'll try and play this. So what we're going to do up here, like I showed you, you could set your time, date, when you want to do your thing. This is just a random date in the middle of July that we have no idea what it's going to do. We have some price levels. We know what it could do in some different areas. Could go up, could go down, could go right down, come back up, could, market's unpredictable. So let's try and read some of what is going on. Our 5-minute are going to give us some perspective to what's going on. Our 15-minute is going to help us with direction. So let's go ahead and click play. Let's see what happens when the market opens. Five seconds. So we could watch this in real time, or we could speed this up a little. You can go 3 times speed, and let's try and find an entry point. When we find the entry point, I'll slow it down. I'll even pause it to explain how I'm going to enter. I don't see anything happen on the chart there. There it goes. Had to catch up for a second. So the first minute, see that level? It touched that level that we made from pre-market. It touched it, and then instantly got rejected. And it looks like it's already finding support at this level we put at the end of pre-market here, around there. So we made good decisions on where we're going to put our levels to help us read what's actually going on in the battles of each candle here. It got pushed up by bulls, and then it got pushed back down by bears, and looks like bears are winning right now. They're definitely kicking the bulls' butts. That was only first minute. So where are we at now? 9:33. We should have more candles than this on a 1-minute chart. I'm a little confused about that. Let's let it catch up for a minute. Let's just pause this. Yeah, so we got some downside. It tried to come back up and touch that. Let's try and reload this, because we should have, if it's 9:34 here, we should have 4 candles on the 1-minute chart. So let's just go same date, current time that we're already at. Go reload this chart. It'll save the drawings. We should still have everything. Might have to adjust where we are in time. Nope, we're good. So there's our other candles. It's still paused, so it's developing those candles. We're having a little trouble loading these ones. There we go. And we're looking at it. It's doing a thing. There's our candles. There was our missing candles. They were just hiding. They're like Bob Ross candles. A little bush over here. So we're going to go back to play. We're at 9:34. Now this little bit of price action, we're not going to play any of this little stuff. We're looking for good clean strokes in one direction or another to really get the scalp. And again, that's where you would load your presets for the stop losses once you've saved them. To create them, right click, buy custom with stop, and you're going to adjust your levels there. I did it a little earlier in the video if you had missed that. So you can see the premiums changing depending on what the market thinks it's going to do in the direction. So these are more expensive because the market thinks it's going to go down. These are less expensive because the market, or no, opposite that. These are more expensive because currently the market thinks it's going to go down, so it prices them more expensive. Right here, these are cheaper because the market thinks it's going to.
It also thinks it's going to go down. I said that wrong. I'm sorry.
So we got some price action going on. We're at 9:36 here in time. Just because we see some kind of breakout here at this level doesn't mean we should grab a call, because it could hit this and instantly you would have made the minimal amount of money there. So again, we want big price action. So we're just going to keep watching, let the market do its thing. We got time. Drinking your coffee, hanging out with your dog, your cat, whatever you're doing. Squirrel. I don't know what you got for a pet, but if at all. Bam, some heavy bearish action that happened in that candle with that long wick there. And also it was a red that formed next to the green at the top, which a lot of times will just grow and then signal downside, or it could be part of a pattern as steps towards the upside. So we'll just keep watching, see what's going on. You can see our premiums are still changing. If you're just tuning in now, if you want to like, subscribe, I'll be doing more videos like this, and then some instructional videos on how to use the Thinkorswim platform as well. It's one of the most usable. There's so many options on what you can do with this application and platform. It's way too much to go over in just one video. But we're coming up to our high of yesterday, the high of day for, well, the previous Friday, which was the 9th. And you can see instant, it sees some resistance right at that level. It has trouble breaking out of that. And you can see our bands from the auto support and resistance study is pretty on the money with following the trend line already. It was there before these candles happened, and it also did really well down here on where it was going to find some support. So it looks like we got knocked out of the high, and we found our resistance. It had some trouble getting up to it and breaking through, so it's going to go down and retest some kind of support level that we've established earlier in the day while we were drinking our coffee. So we're moving, still moving. We're at 9:39. But making some nice clean patterns. We knew what was going to happen at some different levels, obviously, because it followed where we were putting our levels in. Alright, so we're finding some good, real nice resistance going down. Some people would have bought a put right here when they saw this action happen, and they probably would have bought in somewhere around here. But I wouldn't feel comfortable with this small amount of price action right now. And being so early in the market, some would have felt comfortable enough to play this as a call, play this as a put, play this as a call, whatever it's going to do. As long as you have your stop loss in, it's not like you're going to lose that much anyways, but you still want to guarantee your wins. So having a nice setup and clean read on what's going to happen reassures you that you're going to make money and you're not going to lose money. So we found a little bit of support here at this line. See that auto support that's in the Discord. It's under helpful trading tools. Great tool to have already on your chart. Every time you go to open it, it's just there. It's going to tell you some good information. We're at 941. We're finding some support here. Let's see if it's a takeoff to the upside. Now, just because another candle formed doesn't mean we're going to go ahead and buy a call. And, you know, if this is just more pattern to the downside, we'll regret that. I will also be getting a better mic soon, so sorry about the audio quality. It's not that great. So that's looking pretty good. But still, we're not going to play this yet. Here's our RSI. You can see it went up when it was here, went down when it was here, but it didn't fully cool off, it doesn't look like, to me. And here's a red candle, here's a green, red, it's still winning. Let's pause here. So I see a double bottom here. I see it go down, test, go down. It hit the support, right? So a double bottom to me means upside. So we're going to go ahead and load up the first call in the money, right? Buy custom. Obviously the market will be happening fast. I'm pausing it so that we have time to do this, right? So we're going to go ahead and grab the don't take my money please, right? Please don't take my money market. So it's at 93. You can see it already set it up. 93 for the buy at the limit. 88 at the stop. That's the stop loss right there. That will stop you from losing money. Everything looks good. We're going to go ahead and buy. You don't want to over leverage our account. You always want to try and stick to 30% of your capital at the most. And you never really want to lose more than 10% of that 30% of your capital you're working with. And that will minimize your losses as well. Consistency and discipline, that's always going to be the key here. So let's buy, we're working with 100,000 here. Let's buy, 50 of these, right? Also, we would be selling all 50 if we hit a stop loss. We don't want to sell just some or anything like that. You can if you want to, if you feel like hanging through, but I would recommend just getting in, getting out, taking your profits, go meet up with friends, go back to sleep, go have lunch, hang out with that dog or cat or squirrel you're hanging out with, do the rest of your day, already have made money in the market before the day's really started. So we can click confirm and send. We can send this, right? We can hit play. There's our stop loss, right? It's right there. So we're going to bring this up so we can see this. Did we miss out? Clear this out. Positions. SPY, create closing order, right? There's our closing order. We're going to close off 50 when we're ready. We're going to make this a market order so it closes instantly when we're ready. So we're watching this price action. Our target is like 436.45 or so. I like the double bottom. It helps me see that we definitely have some upside. We can move this so we can see what's going on. We have our stop loss set up, so I'm not worried. If it gets back down to here, then it's going to execute a sell order. So we'll be out and we won't have to worry about what happened anything below here, or be hoping that it comes back and we recoup some losses, because the volatility is also going to kill you in these, and we'll talk about that later in another video too. That's theta, delta, implied volatility, all these things, time decay, all these things are going to affect your premium and what you can sell at. But we can see our open P&L right here. We've already made $750 on this. Pretty good for only having been a minute, you know. And we could just play this. Until this starts to turn around, or I see a pattern that's going to push me in the other direction, I'm just going to sit there and watch my profits. I'm already at $950 in 3 minutes, you know. We have a little red candle. Don't get scared. It could get turned around. It could be a pattern to the upside still. A little red is a good sign for health in a movement. Sometimes a lot of price action is unsustainable and can turn around really fast. We almost hit our stop loss there. Yeah, it got pretty low. And that's okay. If it does, then it wasn't the trade for us. Then we either go to another stock or wait for another signal to buy back in at a clean setup again. It found that resistance here. This is that where it found resistance before. And hopefully we'll get a breakout past that at this point. That's what we're hoping for, having bought a call option. We are betting that it's going in the upward direction. If we thought it was going down, we would buy the put side. So like I said, this could be part of a greater pattern. Nice healthy pattern. If you wanted to take those profits and run, that little bit of volatility also took some of that profit away. You see one red candle, or it went from 900 and something profit back down to 500 something. And see, it looks like it formed a nice step. That's a good healthy thing to see. If it forms a double top, then we'd be worried. But this could be part of a better setup. And we're still in it. We're making money in just a little bit amount of time. That's a lot of money for the amount of time we've spent. And look at it go. So that was a nice clean little bit of resistance at that level that we set up already. And then it found some support. So now that it looks like that resistance level became a support level. So in later plays, that might be a support, right? So 947, look at our P&L. Nice and growing. Good things. It's finding a little bit of resistance still around this range. It might hug a little, but it's okay. We're still in it. still making money. If you're happy with that, at any time, you can just click confirm and send and take that profit. I would recommend taking that profit. If you're a newer trader, the second you see any kind of profit, if it's 10%, 2%, 0.5%, that's all a positive towards your capital in your account. That's all a good thing. You can see our account is sitting higher than 100,000 right now. We are making money. Anytime you see it going down, that's not a good thing. We don't want to lose money. So that's why we have our stop loss. That's why we're just making smart, consistent plays here. It's reaching back down to that level to see. And a lot of traders, if you're looking at like a bigger chart, that's or a longer time frame chart, that's like, you know, a 1 year. A lot of traders, before they buy into a stock, if it broke below a support, they would like to see when they think it's becoming when a resistance is becoming a support, that one touch or two touches down to make sure it's a new support level and no longer a resistance level. So that's a healthy move to come back down and test that support one more time before a breakout. So let's see if that's a true thing that's holding right here. And we're having some nice strong buy action. The bulls, looks like they're battling the bears there. We got a little downside. See, in that little bit of volume that's happening right here, these are your volume bars. You know, we had a lot of volume on that big red candle. The bears threw all their money out. And these are EMAs. I showed you those in the beginning. If you missed out on that, you can go back in the video and pause it and copy those. I have some different time frame EMAs, and they also give signals. You can see how it's riding along this 9 EMA right here. It's breaking a little bit below that, but that's all right. You know, a little reach. It's okay. We're still making money. I wanted to show a nice strong gain. This is obviously a clean play. We could have taken our money, and like I said, I recommend taking your money after 1-2 candles. Just get out, take your money and leave. But we're going to play a little bit of a longer one so I can show some of this support and resistance, because these levels are really important to learn. You know, but the second you see some profits, take that profit. Don't be afraid to take your profit and run. That's what we want. We want to put money right in our pockets right away. But, you know, we'll see how this plays out. I'm not just going to trade to hit my stop loss either. I would take profits. I would grab that and I would just throw it in the wallet and move on to another stock. Or the same stock if you see the same play. But SPY is always going to be a great stock to start with. Learn this stock and you'll make money. Now we can see it's finding that support at that level. You see it's just floating right around these levels here. Broke out underneath that one, touched this one, bounced off of it. We're having some really nice price action going on. There's a lot of liquidity in this stock. That means a lot of people are interested in it. It has good volume, price action, has good movement. You can see our P&L is now back up around 1100. We're doing really well for our day. And this could be every day. If you take the time to set these things up, you saw it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just set up these levels in the morning and then watch it ride these levels and read where it's going to go off of these levels. We're trading off of price action and key levels here. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream so far. If you want to like, subscribe. There's going to be some good content on this channel. There's a Patreon. You'll get exclusive access to different trades that I'm looking at, different trades that I'm in, watch lists, and VIP access is going to get access to live trading like this on live days. Also, I'll hold seminars and classes to help people if they need. This is not financial advice, it's just educational. But we're trying to learn here together because there's never enough to learn in the market. And you can follow me on my journey here. I'd appreciate the support if you want to like, subscribe. Now we're coming back down. We're touching this one more time, it looks like. So, like I said, for it to come up and touch, bounce, and then once or twice off of this is a great, clean, healthy thing for a stock to do. It helps you be reassured that it's going to go in the direction you think. If you see it break below, it tested this and it couldn't sustain, it'll find another support back down here somewhere. If it can find this resistance as a support, it'll go search for another resistance. We're at 9:55 a.m. July 12th still. And we're watching a very, very clean setup. I guess I picked a great day to lay this out, but this could be every day for you if you're doing the due diligence in the morning and getting that done with so that you know what could happen during the day and you're prepared, so that there's no surprises here. You knew that it could bounce around this. You knew that it could come down, test this, test this. And what's great is that we haven't had to hit our stop loss. That's always a good day. Now we're coming back down to a third test here. We're still doing well for the day for our P&L. That is not a bad P&L for, less than 30 minutes. Who makes that in 30 minutes, You could, if you were doing these things. So it looks like it is finding support here. It's making higher lows, as you can see here. There's some good price action going on. And it's almost kind of flagging at the same time, If we measure from like here where it got bounced out, we do have some flag action going on. That looks kind of like, or I guess a wedge, but either way, it's coiling up to do something. Let's get rid of this. And like I said, this platform, Thinkorswim, is definitely one of the best of my choices. I also use TradingView sometimes. They also offer a lot of crypto analysis that you can use all their tools with. But Thinkorswim is my go-to. They offer a little bit of a learning curve, but you don't have to master it all. Just these basics. And you can go back and pause these videos and set it all up. And I'm going to do more videos on this platform as well to show how useful it can be. So we're right near another resistance, a big resistance. This is yesterday's resistance. So I wouldn't doubt that we see a hard pushback before a breakout. If we're going to see a breakout, we could just take our profits. Look, we're sitting right here. You know, you can take this, go do whatever you want with the rest of your day. Put this in your account, call it a day. I would recommend it every day. Take this profit and just take it. Again, I'm just trying to show these levels and what they're going to do to the stock. You could see, bam, I threw that line there. Look at it, finding some resistance at that level. I want to break out. You want to break out. We're not always going to get a breakout. It could go straight down from here. We could see a red candle come straight to our stop loss. You know, that's the risk you're taking. You have to calculate in with what your trade is going to be, the risk factor that could also be when finding these resistance and support levels. You know, if you hit a support level and you were on the put side, and it bounced real hard, big green candle, you're not going to do too well. But it looks like we are trying to break out of this resistance of yesterday's high, and we're still coming up. It could bounce back. That bounce back and then up is healthy, like we said here. That double test of that support was a great signal, and then these nice candles right up to the next, you know, and see, there it is, just like I just said. So it's testing that yesterday's high, that resistance that it saw yesterday. But it looks like it's doing well. The bulls are really pushing this candle to stay above that yesterday's high. It seems like people in general want to see this stock go higher because the SPY is a great stock. It's healthy. It shows good movement. It's very tradable. Like I said, you learned this stock and just trade this. You could trade this stock every day and make this money. You know, some days less, some days more, some days none. If you don't feel comfortable trading it, and if you don't feel comfortable or can't find those levels yourself, don't trade it. Just wait, watch, observe, paper trade. Paper trading is going to help you right in the beginning. It's going to help you even once you're started. You could paper trade at nighttime. You could paper trade on demand at any time. The market doesn't have to be open for you to paper trade. And it's great to see your consistency through paper trading if you want to do that to feel comfortable before trying to really take these risks. You can see big resistance here. Big resistance here. It might even test this. We're still looking at good profits for the day. You know, like I said, I would have recommended taking your profits here, or even coming up and taking your profits here. Once you saw that was a great streak. We were at a good P&L there. I want to show a big win on this channel as my first video. Hopefully we see that. I won't be disappointed or ashamed if we see a stop loss hit, though. I want to also show how that works and why we have that there. Look at that. Big support right here. That's a good sign to see. Hopefully we overtake this candle. Yeah, seeing it overtook the whole body of this previous candle. Volume increasing. 5 seconds till next candle. And we're pushing it. So look at our P&L. Look at this. So I'm going to go ahead, confirm, close it in the market. Did it execute? Create closing order. All of them. market, confirm and send. Let's take this off. So we want to set this as a market order. We want to sell all 50. Confirm. Here's our P&L. We're sitting nice and pretty here. We are finding a little support. I'm not really too worried about how fast this is happening, but more that it does happen is what I want. Let this candle build. See what happens here. Again, we might come back down and test this again. I'd like to see this up over 2,000. Be a nice day. There it is. Confirm, send, filled, right here. Sold. We took our profits. So this could keep going up. We could have taken more profits, but before we overextend, because we're seeing more red candles as we're hitting these levels, we took our profits. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Now let's look at our account. We started with 100,000. We have 102,000. We played the market for 35 minutes. 35 minutes. We made $2,050. That's a good day. So, just to go over again, pre-market analysis, day before, highs and lows, pre-market and after hours from the previous day, highs and lows, any levels that we saw that it found some support and resistance along the way to the day that we're trading. We marked auto supports on there, which I could show you real quick. That's load study set. I have it there. Studies, add study, it's going to be under my user defined, and it's auto support here. Again, that link for the auto support is in the Discord. Please join. Feel free. There's always tons of information on there. I'm always on there all day long. Come hang out. I'm always giving my views on the market, what's going on, and what I'm looking at. The Patreon is going to give you access to the different tiers, which are the middle tier is going to give you my trades, option plays, what I'm looking at. Again, none of this is financial advice, but VIP access is also going to give you live trading sessions and seminars. I can also do classes with some people if they would like, or some one-on-ones. I really just want to help people to see the potential in the market. This is what the wealthy are doing with their money, just on larger scales. And if we had $1 million account, we'd be making millions a day. But even with a small account, you can still make money, and the account just becomes bigger over time. So, subscribe if you like the content. If you could comment down below what you would like to see for future videos, I'd appreciate that as well. And any comments on what I can improve in these videos for you, and anything you'd like to know. I appreciate the time that everyone gave me, and thank you very much. Have a good night, everybody.